Hello, 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 you guys. Thank you for joining me today. So, today is Monday, and I normally come to you live on Mondays for your market update. But if you're an Ohio realtor, you may know because you were with me today. It's our conference, our Ohio Realtors Conference today, tomorrow, and the next day after that. So, I was not able to jump on here earlier today, but I did want to come on and give some information. So today I thought I'd talk about becoming a real estate agent, since I was just at the Ohio Realtors Conference and it gave us a lot of great information. It made me think about all of you who have may already reached out about obtaining your Ohio real estate license, or you might be on the fence and thinking about it. So I have a list. I came up with some things that I know for sure you have to be comfortable with as it pertains to getting your real estate license. And so let's get started. All right, so let's get started with this list. So you think that you want to be a real estate agent, and so there's some things that you have to know and understand, and you have to take a serious look and try to determine that, is this you? If you enter, what comes along with being a real estate agent, and are you willing to do the things that are necessary to be successful in this business? So, as I mentioned, I have a list here of a few items. So, number one that I want to start off with, if you are planning to come into this business as A1 and becoming a full-time real estate agent, well, you need to know that we get paid 100% commission. So, if we get paid 100% commission, there's a lead generation period, and then for those deals to cultivate and to get to the closing table, there's 3 to 6 months once assuming you get a potential lead on that day one. So you have to be prepared to stand the test of time. So it's definitely helpful if you plan on coming into this business day one as a full-time real estate agent. You have to have a savings. You have to have some sort of savings, anywhere from at least 3 to 6 months to be able to sustain. 3 to 6 months of savings. So it's important for you to be aware of this. We get paid 100% commission, and it takes time. It is a building process to build up your clientele list, and from the showing process to getting them to the closing table. So you want to make sure that you're prepared for that. Right. So the next one I think is something really, really big. For many of you, you may think it's a small item, but it's really huge. And so I work with a lot of newer real estate agents who are just coming into the business. And for many of them, they're not already doing this. So it is a big shift. And that is social media. Social media. You may not think that social media, being a real estate agent, is not a big deal. It is such a huge deal in this day and age. Social media, if you are someone that do not like to post, you do not have a social media account, you do not like to comment and talk to people on there, this business may not be for you. You may not like that, but it may not be for you, because this is the day and age of where we're at on social media. And in order to be able to grow your business, you want to get in front of as many people as possible. In a real estate business, as an agent, people want to know, like, and trust you. And so social media is a way for them to get to know, like, and trust you, right? So the only way I would say to get around it, if you're saying, I really don't like social media, I want to get around that, that just means I'm going to go back to the first thing that I said here, and having a savings. Because the only way that you can really get out of that is that you have a huge marketing budget right out the gate to be able to then either buy leads to get your business going, or market other places outside of social media. And for most agents, they just don't have the budget to then go out and either just buy the leads because it can be expensive, or go out and market yourself as like a top agent in the area while you're paying for maybe billboards or whatever else it is. So the other way around that is social media. So you really, and I'm going to dive into this social media piece quite a bit here, because you want to take a look. If you're thinking about getting your real estate license, think about your social media presence. Do you really like it? And so you may not necessarily have to like it, but are you willing to sacrifice and make the change to take the steps and do the things necessary in order for you to succeed? So you really want to answer that question truthfully. This is what it takes to become a successful real estate agent. I will kind of even share, even for myself, prior to really being in real estate, social media is really not my thing. I had all of the social media platforms and I just like to kind of glance, but wasn't a big poster. But if you look at my social media accounts today, you will probably get a much different impression that, oh, she likes to post all the time. No, I do the things that are necessary to achieve the results that I want to achieve, and that is posting on social media. So this is huge. If you think that you cannot get past social media, maybe even recording and doing live or recorded videos, then you really may want to consider another option. It seems so silly, but social media in our day and age is definitely where you have to be. So can you handle a larger growth period is starting out part-time? So the alternative to jumping in as a full-time agent would be to start as a part-time agent. So, but this is what you have to realize and understand as a part-time agent. You may be eager, you want to get into your real estate career quicker, but starting as a part-time agent while working another job could actually take you much longer to get to your desired results of being a full-time agent. So you want to evaluate the job that you're currently doing. If you are a construction worker, you're out on the roads most of the day, it's probably pretty hard for you to sit in front of your computer and work as during the day while you're at your full-time job of working on your real estate and making the calls and sending emails that you need to call. But some of you have a more comfortable job, work environment. Maybe you sit at a desk all day anyway. It's really easy going. And so it's easy for you to make calls, follow up, kind of handle your day job and your real estate business. Not a problem. But if you are working another job where you don't have the access that you need during the day, you have to be patient with yourself. You know, a lot of times, the live training is primarily going to be during the day, that you not just from your brokerage, but from our realtor board associations, just in the industry. That stuff is going to happen during the day. There will be items and things that you can do in the evening, but you may have to get comfortable with being a self-learner and going through the material and catching whatever recorded material that you can. And so working this job or working as a real estate agent part-time, it takes a longer time for you because it's a longer learning period, because you can't work on it all day. You're getting bits and pieces. So in order for you to truly grow your business, you're going to require more time than that person that can just jump in as a full-time agent. Okay, so then the next thing that I have on my list is, do you like networking? Networking is another big piece of the business. As real estate agents, you have to be very social. I know right now out in the community, with COVID, we can't do or be around people as much as we used to, but we're going to be back out in public pretty soon here. Even if pretty soon means at the end of the year, it's going to be a point in time where we're going to be able to be where we're going to have to be more social. So you want to plan to be at networking events. And so what that means right now with COVID going on, you have to find ways to market or network digitally, right? Using things like social media platforms to network with other people by like joining groups or other associations, just to find a way to connect with people. So the question is, are you going to do what it takes? Or are you willing to do what it takes to help grow your business and be comfortable with networking, talking to new people, just reaching out, sending DMs to random people on social media? You know, for some of you, you feel like that's kind of weird, but I don't really know them. But that's part of same thing. When you go to a networking event, you walk up to a stranger and you're asking them, hey, how are you doing? What do you do for a living? Or however you present yourselves to them. That's the same thing that you would be doing on social media. So you have to ask yourself, is that something I'm willing to do? Because if it's not, this may not be the career for you. So evenings and weekends, right? Evenings and weekends. Do you have a family, right? Are you going to be, or is your family okay if you worked a 9-to-5 job all day? Now you come home and you're doing and working on real estate. Is your family going to be okay with you being on the phone in the evening, or maybe out showing houses in the evening, and the same thing on the weekend? If it's hard for you to get away, maybe you have smaller children, you have a husband or a wife, you have a lot going on. Maybe the timing is not right for you to get into the real estate business. It's definitely important and something that you have to consider in this business about, I'm sorry. It's something that you have to do and you have to consider in this business when it comes to, building your business and working with people. This is an primarily evening and weekend job. So during the day, we do a lot of our admin. We're making our calls. We're reaching out to people. We're handling, all the paperwork. In the evening, typically when people get off work, we're showing houses. We're doing open houses. We're touring other properties. So these are the things that you have to do. So timing may be important. We all go through our seasons where we have a lot more on our plate during one season than on another season. So it's important for you to understand that this comes with the job, and is this something that you're willing to do? All right. So okay. And then the last thing I had is, can you handle rejection? And when I say rejection, you have to have very thick skin in this business, the willingness to have everything fall apart, for things to fall out with the client of yours, maybe even with a family member, with dealing all of this. Some things are said that you don't like, but are you willing to brush that off and keep moving? Or will you be discouraged and ready to quit? If you cannot have thick skin in this business, you will not make it. Our deals, a lot of times our contracts and deals probably fall through more than they make it to the closing table. This is hard to believe, but it happens all the time. They fall apart for things like you get under contract, it's a home inspection is done, and then the home inspection comes back and it's something that you can't work out, so the deal is dead on there. Or your buyer's financing falls through, or there's a death in the family. There's so many variables for things and the reasons why these deals fall apart. Your buyer got cold feet, thought they wanted something, or their job just announces that they're doing a mass layoff, so they can't move forward. So there's many variables in there. So you have to be able to deal with deals falling apart and that rejection and the slow pay, right? So if your deals are falling apart, that means it takes longer for your contracts to close. So you have to have thick skin, and you have to be a person that says, okay, I want to be a real estate agent. I understand the things that comes with being a real estate agent. That means social media. That means working evenings and weekends. That means not getting paid for a month or two. That means, a contract falling apart. But through all of that, I promise You promise that you will continue on. You have to make that promise to yourself that what you made the commitment, you had the desire. You had the desire to do this, and you are going to push through no matter what. So it definitely helps if you have a good coach or mentor along your side going through this entire process to help answer any questions, kind of be your support group, your support system, and just keeping engaged in the material and the information that's out there. As a newer agent, you're new. All of this information is so new to you. So the more education you can get around the business is going to do wonders for you. It will speed up the process and help you feel more comfortable when working with your clients. So that's all I have today. I just wanted to kind of break that down, kind of give you some tips. But if you are thinking about becoming a real estate agent, you definitely want to ask those questions to yourself, like, yeah, what all does come with being a real estate agent? Don't get caught up in watching pictures of being in beautiful houses, or or a career that seems pretty cool. Break that down a little bit and try to determine, well, what comes with that. You may determine that maybe you don't want to be the real estate agent. Maybe you want to work in a different part of the business. You could still be in something real estate related, but you really have to understand, going right out the gate, before you jump into something, you spend all of the money that it takes to become a real estate agent, to determine that maybe it's not for you. But once you make that commitment, you have to stick to it 100%. 100%. You have to work and push through it so you can get your ice cream and cake at the end of it. All right, guys, as usual, I am here. I'm available for you to answer all of your questions. You know how to find me. But if this is your first time joining me, my name is Andrea Wilson. I'm a real estate broker at Brickhouse Realty here in Cleveland, Ohio. We work with buyers, sellers, and real estate investors. If you are not following me, make sure you hit that follow or subscribe button, and come back and check me out, guys. Have a good day.